Hey y'all, welcome back to Here with Shay. I do want to thank y'all for the support y'all gave me on my last video. And reason being is because I was so scared to, I guess, put it out, not even started, put that out, like, be so open and vulnerable about that. But if I can help somebody else that's going through the same thing or that's gonna go through the same thing, then it's a win-win situation. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. I know in the last video I was talking about my why as to why I wanted to create the channel, and I started getting into detail about what traumatized me, which was losing my son, coming home, finding my son in a car. He had fallen asleep in a car, and I didn't even know he was gone from the house. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's just something I'm dealing with, something I got to keep giving myself grace for, like, and not beat myself up about it, because in reality, it was nothing that I could do, no matter what I try to tell myself, So this episode, I wanted to talk about how I wanted to commit suicide. I didn't want to be here no more. It was just so heavy for me and so traumatic that I really wanted to kill myself and go and be with my son. If I could have split my body down a half and left one half here with my other remaining 4 kids and took the other one to Colin, I definitely would have done that 100%. That was just my logic back then. I was hurting so badly that was just my logic. I remember going back to work. Y'all, I'm in a car. I remember going back to work October 4th of last year, and this happened August 16th. And I went back to work, and I just wasn't myself. I didn't want to be there. I was just down. I was trying to make the most of the situation, but it was hard, So, I don't know. My coworkers and my bosses, they all knew that I wasn't okay. So, they didn't give me a harder time, when I first went back. But, it was just a lot, y'all. It was just a lot. I don't wish it on nobody. If you are contemplating suicide, please go and get help. It is help out there. Help is available to everybody. Go and get the help that you need. Go and seek help. Go talk to a therapist. Therapist, what I say to people is therapist is just like foundation for your makeup. Everybody has a fit. Like, just because you didn't like this therapist doesn't mean that you have to find what works for you. You know what I'm saying? So just because one therapist didn't work out doesn't mean that another one won't work out. You just have to find the therapist that resonates with you. I love my therapist. Shout out to my therapist. She has helped me tremendously. She specializes in trauma. She has helped me tremendously try to get over this, and I'm just extremely grateful for her. I'm extremely grateful for the people that I surround myself with as well. They have been my vessel. They have carried me through this whole ordeal. It's just been so sad and so lonely and so dark. It's been dark. I just never understood why this had to happen to me, of all people. I was trying to find the lesson in the pain, because that's what you kind of have to do. You don't. I say to people as well, I always tell them, go and visit sadness. It's okay to go and visit sadness, but what's not okay is to unpack and stay there. Go visit it, but don't unpack and stay there. So that's where I'm trying to teach myself that, as I'm telling y'all. So I don't know. I just wasn't myself. I remember, like I was saying in the last video, being at the hospital and all of my things had fallen out of my purse. And the nurse was like, whoa. So from that incident, they had put me in a room, and the doctor, well, not the doctors, the police officers and the chaplain was in there. And I remember the doctor coming in there telling me that, you know, there was nothing else that he can do. And I knew that Colin was gone, but I had hope. I had hope that the doctors could save his life, you know. I would see it in movies all the time. I just thought that that was going to be the outcome for my situation, but it wasn't. You know, it was just too late. It was nothing nobody can do. It was set in stone. It was destined to happen already. That's what I have to keep telling myself. So, I don't know. I just remember losing my mind. I couldn't even, after the doctors told me that, I threw up everything. I literally threw up all of my food, and it was Panda Express. You cannot pay me to eat Panda Express. You can't pay me to eat Panda Express now, because it's traumatizing. It's triggering for me, because that's what I'm gonna think about while I'm eating it, and it's something I'm working on. Progress, you know, is one day at a time. So I remember, like I said, the doctor's telling me that they couldn't do anything else for Colin, and I'm just losing my mind. The chaplain is there. She's supporting me. She's reciting all of these biblical scriptures, and no disrespect, but when somebody's going through that of the day of, I didn't want to hear that. I just was trying to make sense of it. It didn't make sense to me. I was lost. I was confused. Felt betrayed. Like, what? I just didn't want to hear that. I just wanted to sit in silence and try to figure it out myself. And that was detrimental. You know what I'm saying? So they told me that they had got him ready. Well, yeah, got him ready, like cleaned him up and took him to another area. They put him in his own room, and they were telling me that I can go and see him because they had cleaned him up. And I'm just like, I'm not ready to see him like that. I'm usually, when Colin is laying in a bed like that, you know, he's sleeping. So for me to see my son laying on a hospital bed and he's not sleeping, he's unalive. Y'all know what I said in the last video. I don't like saying that word. I'm working on it. That fucked me. That fucked my mental up so bad. Like, I'm just sitting there looking at him, and it just messed me up so bad. Like, I just don't wish that on nobody. Because ideally, we want our kids to bury us, you know. And I had a whole future planned out for all of my kids, you know. I sit and I fantasize about what their lives are going to be like when they get older. I can no longer do that about Colin, you know. So I'm just sitting here. I'm getting hit with all of that on top of losing him, you know. So my dreams were crushed. It just didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. Leaving out of the hospital, all of my family was in the lobby. They were waiting for me. I was relieved to see them there. I was really, really happy to see them there. I remember having so many calls and so many text messages and so many messages in general. And I had no idea that people even knew about this, because my sole focus was literally my son. So I didn't know that word had got around so fast, but it did. I ended up pulling up to my house, and I had the tape still here, like the crime scene tape still here. I had the detectives all in my yard, the news people across the street recording my house, and it was just traumatizing. Like, and that's another thing I want to talk about. The news will literally tarnish your character. They don't care. They will make up whatever seems suitable at the moment and just run with it. And they don't care about the narrative of anything. They don't care about you hurting. They don't care about a child. I get that a child was, something happened to a child here, but don't create your own narrative and run with it. That's hurtful. You know what I'm saying? The news was saying something about, an innocent bystander found my son. No, the hell they didn't. No, they didn't. I don't know. That was another thing I was dealing with, the narrative that was created to people. So not only am I dealing with the loss of my son, I'm dealing with the narrative that was made up, a lie that was made up and that people are running with now, so it was just so much. It was so much. I pulled up to my house, seeing all of them outside. I just put my head down and walked, literally walked right past them. My sister pulled up. She seen everybody out here. Queasy was trying to go and fight the news lady. She like, nope, not today. I love you, girl. I couldn't react then because I was so shocked. I was literally so shocked that had happened. I couldn't react. I couldn't do nothing. I'm literally just in shock. Like I keep saying, trying to make sense of something that didn't make sense to me, trying to piece a puzzle together that couldn't be pieced together. Like, I don't know. That was insane. I walked past them with my head down. I didn't feel like explaining nothing to nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I just wanted to self-isolate and just deal with it on my own. I walked in my house. Tried to get comfortable on the couch. I couldn't. I just couldn't. It was way too much going on. So I went in my girl's room and I just laid on their floor and I just hugged all of my kids. And I just remember crying, like, because I'm hurting. I was literally laying in their floor in fetal position because just yesterday I was just playing with him. And now today he's not here no more. I'm looking at him in a car and in a fucking hospital bed, like, not here no more. So I just don't wish this shit on nobody. I don't. And that's why I had to get past the fear of putting this out. I'm always so hard on myself, but in a good way. I don't know. I just hope that this reaches who it needs to reach and helps who it needs to help, because grief is, all of us are going to grieve. Every single last one of us, we are going to grieve, and we grieve because we love. We form bonds with people, and when that's taken from us, that shit hurts. That hurts. I think about my son every single day. It's not a day that I don't think about Colin. There's no day that I do not think about my son, and I still go in the store sometimes and I grab things in fives. And I remember I used to be so shook up and like so in a panic, if that makes sense. Doing that, like, but the truth is, it's okay. I show myself grace and I tell myself it's okay because I do have 5 kids still and it's okay. It just hurts. It's just a wake-up call, Yeah, I know he's not here no more, but that's a habit for me, So that's something I'm working on too. And that's probably a habit that I will never break, honestly. I'm getting better at it, but sometimes when I'm in a rush and stuff and just going on, it just happens, I remember going back to work in October. I was so scared because, like I said in my last video, I delivered mail out of my car. So the route that I was working when I was returning to work, I needed to use my car to deliver mail. And as I also just stated, the news had this narrative out that basically I did it. That's how I felt, So I just didn't feel like going to work explaining that to nobody. Kristen, I love Kristen. I love Kristen. Kristen knew. Kristen is we used to work together at the post office. She came over here when everything happened. She held me. She let me cry, do whatever. I love Kristen so much. I'm gonna show y'all what she made for him too. And also the message that she sent me when I was actually about to go through with my suicide attempt. So I went back to work, and like I said, I was just not shame, but I just didn't want to deal with it because I'm already dealing with so much, you know? So I didn't want to talk about it. I just wanted to act like it didn't happen. I'm there to work. I didn't want to go back to work if anything, I was going back to work to distract my mind, if that makes sense. I didn't want to go to work to have to talk about that and relive that when I'm trying to escape it, you know? So I went back to work. Kristen knew, and I had the mail sign on top of my car. If you seen on the pictures that the news posted, you see that. If you know my car, you know my car. It's the only one around here with the mail sign on it, you know? So I ended up taking that off because I'm like, nah, people crazy, you know, first of all. And then you can't take weapons on federal property, you know? So I'm just like, people gonna see my car because this is the car that's on the news and be like, oh, you baby killer, and you did this and you did this to your baby, how dare you? And it was in my head. It was I was creating that like in my head, and that was nowhere near the truth. I went to work, y'all, and when I started on my route, I guess they knew that I was coming back because Kristen told the people on the route. We shared a route. Kristen told the people on the route that I was coming back. So I didn't know that though. So I went back to work, and I remember starting in my first neighborhood, and people were taking their kids to school, and they'll see my car and they'll like back up and they'll jump out, and I'm looking, but they're like, no, I love you. Like, I don't care. Like, I see you at work busting your ass every single day. Busting your ass every single day. You are a great worker, so I know you're a great mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's none of my business what happens. I just want you to know that I love you. You know, I just got so much love and so much positivity and uplifting words and messages. And I don't know. I was just shocked and scared for nothing. And not even scared, I just didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to deal with it. People had cards in the mailboxes for me, like gifts in their mailboxes for me. If I went to the gas station to take a break or something, I'm well known in my neighborhoods, you know, so, and my car too. They know me, they know my car, they know, you know, excuse me. So they would even come up to me at the gas stations, like the gas station clerks, the people that works at the gas station. They would leave from behind the counters and come and hug me, and it was just consoling. It was heartfelt. I just wasn't expecting that, and I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all. That was the hardest time of my life. I had to get past that. Even me getting back inside of my car. What? When I had to get back inside of my car, because that's where Colin took his last breath at. When I had to get back inside of my car, it was here. It was a mental battle. So not only am I dealing with the loss of him and then the false narratives, I'm also dealing with my car. I can still smell his smell in my car. Now, it's crazy because nobody else could smell the smell in my car from him but me. Insane. It would drive me crazy, y'all. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So I try to keep myself busy. I try to focus on, you know, my other kids and not slack off in that area, you know, and I try to show up for myself every day. It was working, but I was still hurting on the inside, and nothing could take away what I was feeling. Nothing can bring Colin back, is what I'm trying to say. I just had to adjust to this new life. It's like my old life got ripped from under me, in a sense. And I had to adjust to something that I wasn't ready to adjust to, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, all of my other kids were in school last year. Colin was going to be the only one staying at home because I don't put my kids in daycare, and he wasn't old enough to start regular school yet. So coming home to an empty house, mental, again, it fucked me up so bad. And it still messes with me, but I'm getting better with accepting it now. It was heavy. It was hurtful. I just didn't want to be here no more. I kept getting up for work. I got back in the routine of things. But this time, when I got up for work, I would go and make sure that my kids were okay. I would go and start checking in their rooms. That wasn't routine for me at first because it didn't have to be. So I started doing that and getting back in a groove of things and showing up for myself and going to work and starting to be myself again, kinda, in a way. I remember it was one day in November. I do know that I had went to work and I was almost done with my route. So I decided to stop at the dollar store on the south side of town. I decided to stop at the dollar store just to take a break. I just kept having suicidal thoughts. Kept having suicidal thoughts. Like, wondering how Colin is. If he's even in heaven. Like, does he need me? Is he crying for me? Like, is he... Bro, that shit drove me crazy. Do you know how hurtful it is for your kids to be crying for you and you can't be there? And you can't help them? So I just kept imagining that in my head and like... I don't know. Wishing I can be there with him. And it just kept tearing me to pieces. So I just couldn't take it no more. I pulled over at the dollar store. And I was just crying. I was just screaming. I had it. That day, I just knew it was going to be my last day. It wasn't about hurting nobody else. In that moment, I didn't want to inflict pain on nobody else. I just didn't want to be here no more. I just had to end it because I'm tired of the thoughts. I'm tired of being sad. I'm tired of trying to adjust to this crazy ass new life. I was tired of it. So I sat in that mail truck and I had parked it facing traffic. So traffic is coming both ways, going this way and going that way. So I just kept thinking, like, how can I escape this? How can I not hurt no more? How can I just go and be with Colin, just get it over with? Because I was just hurting. Hurting is an understatement. Y'all, I don't wish this pain on nobody. Not even my worst enemy. I don't even have enemies. If you mad, that's on you. I don't care. That's not even my concern. I don't wish this on nobody. I wasn't prepared for it. I always also tell people, maybe I would have been a bit more prepared if Colin was like diagnosed with a sickness or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, the doctor came and told me, hey, it's not looking good. He has X amount of days to live. Even in some of those cases, people end up outliving, what the doctors gave them, but maybe that would have been easier for me to digest. But just playing with my son the day before and then coming home to find him unalive in a car and not breathing all his skin and the blood. No. So I'm just sitting in the mail truck on my break. And I'm like, we doing this today. Today is the day. Today is the day. We gonna just end this. We finna go and be with Colin. And then you get all these biblical scriptures that pops up in your head. Ignoring them. I'm just sitting there until I couldn't take it no more. Until I literally felt the urge to sit up and readjust myself in that mail truck. And literally put my seatbelt back on, fixing to start the truck back up and just run out into traffic in the mail truck. So when I'm actually readjusting myself and, like I said, fixing to start the truck back up, I get a text to my phone Now, normally I keep my phone on silent, y'all, because I have my headphones in anyway, so, and I'm normally listening to music. It's just, that's a habit for me to not have my phone on loud. I just don't do that. This particular day, I don't know what happened. As I was about to get up and literally put the car in drive, because I had already readjusted myself. As I was about to put the mail truck in drive and go across, I get this text in my phone, and it's loud. It's like, ding. If you got an iPhone, you know what I'm talking about. The default text notification. So I get this text in my phone, and it distracts me. And this is my coworker, Kristen, telling me, how good of a job I'm doing. I'm kicking ass at the job and X, Y, and Z. And when I tell y'all God is real, because I was about to literally run this mail truck out in the middle of this street, and I didn't have no regrets. I didn't have no second thoughts about it. That little notification literally saved my life. That is why I'm still here today. I couldn't, the pain was so unbearable. I couldn't take it. That notification saved my life. It distracted me. It distracted me from the suicidal thoughts that I was having in my head. That text message saved my life. That notification saved my life. It saved my life. It literally saved my life. I sat there a while after that, because when you're so weak and you're so vulnerable and your energy is low like that, it's easier for the devil to come in and play on you. You know what I'm saying? So my energy, it was so easy for the devil to come in. And baby, when I tell you the devil had his hand on me, but God had his mind on me, baby, what? Yes, the devil had his hand on me. I was literally playing into his hand, into his play, and was about to leave the rest of my 4 kids here, because that was just my logic then. I was hurting so badly that I just needed a quick fix without hurting nobody else. But in reality, I would have hurt my other kids. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about that, though. The devil had made me lose my sight. I thank God for my other kids. I do not regret any of my kids. I love, love, love my kids. I hate that this happened. Y'all always check y'all surroundings. Always check y'all surroundings. If you know you took a child with you, please don't forget that child, y'all. I don't wish this shit on nobody. I don't wish it on nobody. If you know you took a baby with you, please don't forget that baby in the car. Please do not forget the baby in the car. Please, please, please. After that incident with me trying to attempt to do that, I ended up taking my son to the doctor, Kai, my 3rd child, which is the baby I was talking about in my first video. I ended up taking him to the doctor. So the doctor that was there helping work on Colin, he was Kai's doctor. That was the doctor I ended up taking him to see. So when he seen me, he was like, "Mom, like, how are you?" And I'm like, "Huh?" Like, I'm okay. Like, I'm trying to hang in there, And he was like, "Okay, I know this appointment is about your baby. My bad. I know this appointment is about your baby, but I need to get you back here ASAP. Like, you need to come and see me, because I'm worried about you. I'm worried about your well-being, Like, I don't want you to have to put on a facade. I want to help you." Like, so we got through that appointment. I scheduled my appointment with him as well. I ended up going back to see him, and he gave me like these 2 sheets of paper. One was for anxiety and one was for depression. So I filled them out as like a questionnaire. I had filled them out and I gave it back to him, and he came back in there. I'm like, I'm not okay. I am not okay. I want to go and be with my son. Like, I was telling him, like, about the suicide attempt, and he was just, like, not shocked, because that's what comes with that. You know, like, yeah, I had 5 kids. By 25, I did. Nobody can take that. Nobody can make me feel bad for it. I stand on it. I own it. But I ain't never asked nobody for shit. I get out here and I work my ass off for those kids. And I still do. Hurting and all. I don't want to make them suffer, you know? He came back in the room. He was consoling me, you know? So, he was like, I think it's best if I send you over to the ER so that we can have you, like, evaluated, since you're telling me, you know, you're suicidal. And I didn't fight it. I didn't go against it. I was like, okay, you know. So the ambulance ended up coming to pick me up from the doctor's office. I went over to the hospital, and that's where everything started. I had to get undressed. I had to put on, like, these paper scrubs. I don't know. They were very uncomfortable, but I couldn't have my phone. I had to put it all in, like, all of my clothes that I did have on, and, like, my belongings and my phone and stuff in a plastic bag. And the ER doctor came in, and he was like, hey, you know, what's going on? Could you explain to me what's going on? And I did. And he was like, I'm not going to send you to, because they were going to send me to, like, a mental health clinic, because they thought I was losing my mind. And I was losing my mind. I was hurting. I'm not crazy, though, you know. So that's what the doctor was basically telling me. He was like, I'm not going to send you there. I just think you're going through a difficult time right now, you know. I don't want to be on any medication. I hate medicine. Especially being on something that's going to be hard to get off of. I don't want to become addicted to medicine. I got 4 kids to live for. I don't want to be on nothing like that. So I would choose to heal myself and keep seeking help and keep seeking therapy and keep seeking God, especially God, because He is another reason I'm here and I'm able to testify and give y'all this testimony and be on this camera, literally telling and being vulnerable and telling y'all what I went through, what I am going through, you know. So I don't know. God is good. He is really amazing. He is. Now I can go back, since I'm on a healing journey. Now I can go back to that day. It used to be very, very, even more traumatic for me to sit here and go back to that day and think about how I was knocking on the window trying to wake him up and looking at his body in the car and stuff. Is less traumatic now. What I do now, to show myself grace and to show up for myself and to be here for myself, I can go back to that day now. But I take my present self with me. My present self that's trying to heal the wounds, if that makes sense. I take my present self with me and I console my hurting self, if that makes sense. I do the shadow work. You know, if you know about shadow work, you know. I take my present self to that day and console myself. I was losing my mind. And I sit with myself and I tell myself, it's okay. It's okay to accept that he's gone. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And that was major for me because it was so hard for me to accept this. Super, super, super hard. I used to sit and I used to question God even more because, I don't know, y'all. I was just super, super confused. If you know Colin, I think another part that really hurt me when this happened is that Colin would used to come to me and he would be like, hey mom, are you gonna die? Am I gonna die? Is Charlie gonna die? He was a child that will always come and ask me about death. Where did he get it from? I don't know. He was the child that would literally always come to me and ask me and just openly talk about death. He was only 3. So as I look back now, maybe signs were there. I don't know. I just don't wish this on nobody. I'm happy. I'm overcoming because I haven't overcame. I'm happy I'm overcoming this situation, because if you're going through something like this by yourself, you are very, very, very strong. I commend you. And I just want to hug you, because I just couldn't imagine going through it by myself. Shout out to my best friends. I love both of y'all, Tashas. I love you, Queasy. I love you, Mama. Tiara, shout out to you too. I love you too. Brittany, I love you too. Shout out to everybody. Rosemary, all of y'all. Everybody who showed up for me, thank y'all. I love y'all deeply, genuinely. Thank y'all. Going through something like this, it's like raising a child. It takes a village. Grief is the same way. It literally takes a village. Even if we want to be by ourselves, like, still be there. Still check on us. It's appreciated. If we don't respond, we still see it, It's just hard. This is a major, major, major adjustment. Major, major adjustment. I don't know what the lesson is in this. Maybe this had to happen so that I can get on this camera. Let me tell you something. I'm vulnerable and open, but I'm not this vulnerable and open to the world. Now, to my friends and to my family, different. But to the world, for me to be open and vulnerable like this to the world, it took a lot. It took a lot. It definitely took a lot. Y'all, go seek help if you need help. If you are contemplating suicide, it's not worth it. That's the enemy trying to get you. That's the enemy that it's just not worth it. Life is beautiful. Life is worth living. If you're going through a hard time right now, it's okay. Hard times don't always last. It's okay. It's okay. Pray your way out of it. Change here. Change your thinking. I had to. When I still go in the store and pick up things in fives, I have to show myself grace. It's okay. I don't even get upset about it no more. Because I used to be like, now why? Now what, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that to myself no more. Because myself knows I know I have 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't do that to myself no more. I smile and I tell myself it's going to be okay. It's okay that you grab things in fives. You're probably going to do that the rest of your life. It's okay. It's okay. You have to be your biggest supporter. You have to be. You can't worry about what nobody else is thinking, what nobody else is doing, how they think of you. You can't do that. Find out what your mission is, what your life purpose is, and flourish in it. Go be the best version of yourself. That's what I'm currently trying to do. This pain builds character. Let me say that. Pain literally builds character. Let it empower you. Let the pain shape you. Let it make you into who you're destined to be. Don't let it break you. It will if you let it, but don't let it. Don't let it. Don't let it. Well, I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. If you're new here, thank you for watching. If you're not here, thank you for watching. I got so many appointments to go to today, starting here shortly. So, God bless y'all and have a great day. He had blood and stuff all over him. I still have what I was wearing that day, and I have towels too. I'm about to show that, so if you don't want to see it, put the phone down. I'll let you know you can pick it back up. But this is a towel that has his blood on there. This is another one. This is the shirt that I wore to work that day. Yeah. And shorts. But there's nothing on my shorts though. I just never wash it. These items are extremely sentimental to me. They hold so much value. They're priceless. Damn. down. Anyway. What are you?
Best friend.
What am I?
Best friend.
Best friend? You love me?
Yeah.
How much?
2.
2? Why not 3?
3.
3? So how much you love me?
2.
Bruh.
Bear.
4? What? Is that a lot?
Yeah.
What?